Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K Collector, and I am back. Earlier this week, I did a number of videos talking about games that are a little more rare and expensive and harder to find. But I figured I'd end this week off with a few games that are highly collectible, that are a ton of fun, and that are easier on your pockets. And the good thing is that all these games you can find for under $20. Now, I know earlier in the week, some of the games, I'd gotten some comments that my pricing was off on some of those games. And I should have been a bit more clear because I think I led with you being able to find those games on eBay and Mercari at those prices. But there are a few other places that I've seen those games go for lower prices, including Facebook Marketplace. I've also seen them at local game stores. So it's not, they weren't all strictly eBay pricing and Mercari pricing, because I do understand that those are still going to be some of the hardest places and most expensive places to pick up games. But I think for the most part, a lot of those games were on point when it came to the pricing. So for anything that I was off on, I do appreciate you all letting me know what you're seeing out there and what the pricing is. But for this video today, these are games that I'm sure I've seen them all on eBay for less than $20, either eBay or Mercari. And if you're not seeing them, keep your eyes peeled or check the sold listings, because they have sold for under $20. So with that being said, let's take a quick look at this first game, which I think you'd appreciate. And this is Street Fighter 3 Max, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. Now, I'm a fan of the Street Fighter Alpha series. This is a power-packed arcade fighting experience, and they put it right in the palm of your hands. I actually had this game on the Game Boy Advance, and that took me through a good part of undergrad when I didn't have any consoles at the time, and I was just playing Game Boy Advance games. So that was great. And I think this is a fun game that you will enjoy. You can pick this up for under 20 bucks. So keep an eye out. Check eBay listings because you can find it. This one is right at the border of 20. This is usually around like $18.99, $19.99. But definitely be on the lookout because this is a fun one. And if you have a PSP, this is a great way to enjoy it. We got another fighting game for you, and this is Darkstalkers on the PSP as well. Another Capcom classic. If you're familiar with the Night Warriors Darkstalkers series, this is one that you will enjoy. I think some of the more notable characters out of this game are Lilith, Felicia, and Anakaris. And I say that because those are the characters that we see in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Those were the characters that they included in that awesome and timeless classic fighting game. But Darkstalkers is a great one. I think you get multiple games on this disc. It's not just, I think you get like the series. So you get Night Warriors, Darkstalkers, and then I think you get like Darkstalkers 2. I'm not sure if you get Darkstalkers 3. Someone let me know down in the comments, but I know it's not just the one game. I think you get multiple games on this PSP disc rather. And so I think this is a great one for you to be on the lookout for if you are a fan of fighting games. Next up, we have some PS3 action. Now, before I talk about the PS3, we all know that the PS3 and the Xbox 360 are two of the most inexpensive consoles to collect for. And you're typically going to find the cheapest deals when searching for these systems. And there are some great compilation and collection discs that you can get at a really great price. So Eco is one that you can definitely pick up. Now, you're going to see Eco and Shadow of the Colossus probably go for a little bit more on eBay. You might see this one go for between 14 and maybe 17 bucks. But this is one that you can look for at GameStop because this is a cheap one. Typically, GameStop will have this game for around 10 bucks or 5 bucks. So this is a super cheap steal. You get two amazing games in one. Shadow of the Colossus was a game that was ahead of its time, in my opinion. I think the open world exploration in this game is just sick. The premise is dope. And then Eco is just a very unique game. So both very solemn and solitary games. These are games that you're not necessarily going to want to play with friends. So if you're looking for something that you can kind of go down in the basement, turn the lights down, and play by yourself and get lost in these two different worlds, this is the disc for you, and I recommend you picking it up on the PlayStation 3. Super cheap, great find. We have another compilation here, or collection disc, and that is the God of War and God of War 2 collection. Another two great games that you can play by yourself, solo play. This is one that I would pull out when all the friends are away, maybe when everyone goes to sleep. And this is another one that you can pick up from GameStop for about 10 bucks, 10, maybe 15 bucks. Is what you're going to be looking at on this one. There are a few more God of War collection games. I think they have the two PSP God of War games. They have that on PS3. They have that collection. And then they also have God of War Ascension. So there are a few of those. All of them, I think, are under 20 bucks. But this one is one that will give you that nostalgic vibe, take you right back to the PS2 days with a little bit of upscaling on that. So definitely be on the lookout for these two. These are two great games in one, under 20 bucks. Great value. Next up, this is another one of my faves. If you're a fan of Odin Sphere, you'll like this one as well because it does have that whole vanillaware style to it. And that is Dragon's Crown on the PSP, an Atlas classic. I can't remember if this came out on PlayStation 4. I think it did. I think there's actually a Steelbook edition on this for PlayStation 4. But the only thing is that the PlayStation 4 version doesn't come with the manual. And I am a manual addict. Anytime I can get a manual, I definitely want to get one. But this is pretty much an RPG side-scrolling hack and slash game where you can take your skills to the next level, play as a number of different characters, beef up your weapons, beef up your magic, and go toe-to-toe with all those enemies. And again, this is one that you can find for about 10 bucks, 10 to 15 bucks. I know for sure this one goes for under 20, and this is a very good and collectible game. So definitely be on the lookout for Dragon's Crown. Now we're going to go super retro, starting with, or rather actually ending off with a few Sega Genesis games. Now to me, the Sega Genesis is one of the most collectible systems out there. Even when you just think about the clamshell casing, whenever you can find a complete in-box Sega Genesis game, in my opinion, that's always a good deal. And so we have a few here, all of which you can find for under 20 bucks that are great. And starting off with this one here, so Sonic 2. So Sonic 2 is probably one of the most recognizable games on the Sega Genesis. Super nostalgic. I'll never forget using the cheat codes in this game to turn into supersonic, because you can't, there's a cheat code that allows you to go supersonic mode, which pretty much Sonic is just super fast. Nothing can damage him. It's like getting the Super Mario star. He's just Super Saiyan level 5, and he's going through the levels. But Sonic is a classic, man. Beautiful art, beautiful color, beautiful pixelation, and most importantly, some amazing music. This game has some of the best Sega Genesis music on the planet. And I think you'll really enjoy this one. And it's super collectible. Super collectible. You can add it to your collection. I think everyone needs to have this game in their collection if you can. I know this game has been re-released 1,001 times on multiple platforms. This game has been overdone. But if you can get an original Sega Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog 2, that's one that you want to have in your collection, and you can for under 20 bucks. Next up, another Sega Genesis classic, Altered Beast. This is one that you can get. Again, I know for sure you can get it. If you get it boxed, you can definitely get it for under 20 bucks. I think you can even get this one complete in box with the manual for under 20 bucks. Now, some folks might try to charge you more than $20 depending on how clean it is. If you have a very clean copy, the cover art on this one is super clean, and I think the manual on this one is in impeccable condition too. So some folks might try to up the price on you, maybe charge you 25, 29, but this is one that you can get for under 20. And Altered Beast is another Sega classic, another one of the most recognizable games on the system, and I think this is one that you will enjoy. This is pretty much a side-scrolling beat-em-up where you collect orbs until you morph into one of a few animals. You've got the lion, you've got the wolf, you've got the tiger, the dragon, and the bear. And I'm not sure if there's another animal that you can morph into, but those are the main ones that I remember. They all come with their unique powers and abilities, and this is just a sick game. It was an arcade classic that they brought home, and I'm glad I got this one in my collection. You can too for under 20 bucks. And then last but not least, how could we mention games, Sega Genesis games, without talking about the original X-Men on the Sega Genesis? Now, this one comes with a little bit of a caveat. So you can find a boxed copy of X-Men and even a complete in-box copy of X-Men for $20 and under. This is one that you can definitely find at those cheaper prices. However, not many of them come with this certain item that actually boosts the price. So some of these do come, well, when this game was originally released, and if you got it like brand new sealed, it came with a poster in it. So if you pick this game up and you get it with the poster dramatically increases the price on this game. So without the poster, you can get this game complete in box, but with the poster, you're going to be looking at above $50 for this game. What does the poster look like? Here, I'll show you if you're interested. So this is what it looks like on the inside. You've got the cartridge, you've got the manual. Here, let me take this out. So you've got the cartridge in great shape. You've got the manual in great shape. So if you get it just like this, this will be about 20 bucks. Even if you get it with this little insert here, that will also be about 20 bucks. But what adds about $30 in value, unfortunately, is when you get it with the poster. There is an X-Men poster. My poster is in perfect condition. I don't think there's any nicks, scratches, or stains on it. Whenever you get it in really good condition, they do try to up the charge or up the price for it. So unless you really, really want that poster, and unless you really are nostalgic for it, I would say find one without the poster. But if you're looking for one in super clean condition with the poster, it's going to run you over 20 bucks. So definitely just wanted to make sure I included that caveat. But that does it for me on a fantastic Friday, just shooting you some games. All of these games are fun. They are a good time. Some you can play with friends, some you can play solo. But in either case, I recommend you looking into these because these are great additions, great collectible additions to your collection for a cheap price. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if my pricing is off. And let me know if there are any other games that you would recommend. I'm the Y2K Collector. Happy Friday. Hope you have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.